What's up everybody? Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be talking about which format you should choose when you're getting into photography, whether you should go with film or whether you should go with digital, and the pros and cons of each. Instead of the pros and cons with film, I'm gonna start off with a little bit of a gray area, and that's gonna be the film aesthetic. Take this as you may. The quote-unquote film aesthetic is an interesting thing, and I mean, if that's something you're into, then I mean, you could go for it. If you're kind of on the fence about it, don't just think that people shoot film for the aesthetic, because there's a lot more reasons than just that, such as the film process. I love shooting film for the process itself. Picking the ISO, picking the film stock, loading it into the camera, taking the photo, advancing the film, rewinding the film, unloading the film, processing the film, scanning the film, everything about it is just super fun. And that's the main reason why I love film, is because of that process. You can't get that with digital. It's just irreplaceable. Another thing about film is that there is a lot of ways that shooting film can and will go wrong, especially when you're starting out. And because of that, shooting film makes you think a lot more than just shooting digital. Because you're basically burning through money with every photo you take, it makes you a lot more intentional with the photos. And so you're gonna really have to sit down and think about all of your settings that you're shooting at, thinking whether or not you're exposing it correctly. By the way, these are things I'm gonna be talking about in later videos, so if you don't know what that means, then just stay tuned. The amount of times that I've taken a photo on film and immediately after was like, oh no, I could have done that better, is a lot, and I think that's awesome. It really forces you to think harder. It forces you to just be sure of everything before you hit the shutter, and I think that's amazing. Another pro for shooting film is the tactility of it all. Like I said, you know, you're loading the film, you're rewinding, all of that stuff. It's just a lot more hands-on. It makes you feel like you're way more involved in the process. And with the process being as long as it is, once you get those negatives back, it is so much more rewarding than just looking at a raw file on your digital camera. Being able to put it on a light box and look at it, get the magnifying glass out and really look at the details, getting it scanned in, getting all the color corrections, it just feels amazing. I'm such a big fan of it. If you're just starting photography, a big draw to film is the fact that the equipment is a lot cheaper. I mean, film has been around as long as photography has been around, and so there's a lot more film cameras available. Go to any thrift store, I'm sure you could find one. I started off shooting film on a camera that is $20, and it took amazing photos, and I was able to learn a lot from it. The only expense involved when starting film is the camera and the film that you buy. Relative to digital, the cameras are cheaper, the equipment is cheaper, and all you're gonna really have to keep paying for is the film and to get it processed and scanned. Now, the cons for shooting film is that you are paying for every photo that you take, so you can't afford to take bad photos. I mean, maybe you can, but I can't. I make minimum wage. You also are working with older equipment, so I mean, in my experience, I bought a Mamiya RB67, and I've had 2 lenses break on me. So you really have to be sure you're buying good quality equipment that's been taken care of, because a lot of the stuff you're working with was made back in like the 40s, 50s, or 60s, and so a lot can and will go wrong. Another thing is that film people kind of suck. There are a lot of film elitists out there that are gonna try and tell you that you just need to buy a Leica, you just need to buy an RZ67. You just need to buy this and buy that and use this. You just need to keep in mind that the stuff you buy is because you like it, because you find value in it. Don't let people talk you into buying other equipment. I mean, that is going to happen with digital as well. There's hype beasts in every hobby. Just don't let them get you down. And lastly, a con, I'm kind of hesitant to call it a con, which is kind of why I put it last, is that you can and will mess up a lot when you're shooting film. There's gonna be light leaks. You're gonna mess up your settings. You're going to forget what ISO you're shooting at. There's a big learning curve for shooting film, and you will mess up. I guess it does come down to whether or not you view failure as a good thing or a bad thing, but I think it's something that should be at least noted. Moving on to digital, I think it's important to note that I started off photography shooting digital. First real camera I ever bought is the one that I'm recording this on right now. I bought a Canon Rebel T5i, and starting off with the pros for digital, it's super quick. Like, shooting film versus shooting digital is like apples to oranges. I mean, like I said in my last video, if you're shooting digital, you could literally go out, take a photo, pull your SD card out, plug it into your laptop and edit it right there. And you would have a finished image in like 5 to 10 minutes if you worked really hard. Digital is also sort of idiot proof in the sense that you can take as many photos as you want. You can mess up a million times, but because you can see what you're doing wrong, you can see that you may have mismetered, you may have under or overexposed, you can go and you can correct it and you can take the image all over again, no problem whatsoever. Unlike film, shooting digital, there is no limit to the photos that you can take. You're not paying to take the photos, so go ham. Also, unlike film, digital cameras are a lot newer. If you're buying a brand new camera, then you are buying a brand new camera. Unlike with film, you're not buying things that are like near mint, you are buying straight from the producer. You buy a Canon camera, you're buying that on Amazon from Canon. And then with that, I mean, you have new equipment. So there's a lot less to worry about. You don't have to worry about 50 years of usage. You don't have to worry about fogs in your lenses, fungus, balsam separation, that sort of thing. And lastly, I think this is a good example. On digital, you get video out of your digital camera. You obviously can't shoot video on film. I've had a lot of my friends ask me how you get the sound on a film camera. Disclaimer, you can't. There's film video cameras and there are film photo cameras. There are not things that can do both. Either you have an 8mm camera, which people used for like home videos, or you have a film camera. Some of the cons for shooting digital is that it is way more expensive to get into initially. While you may not be paying for the photos you're taking, you are paying for brand new gear. That is not something that should be understated. Let's say you want to go and you want to buy a full frame camera that can shoot at 4K video. That's going to cost you a couple grand. I mean, heck, I bought an entry-level DSLR and it ran me my entire savings. I mean, I was 17 years old. It was probably like $800. Shooting digital also isn't as hands-on. I mean, if you're not that into the film process, then this isn't something that you should really think carries much weight. But for me, it's just one of those things where I don't feel as involved when I'm taking a digital photo. Not to say that I don't like shooting digital. I'm into photography for photography, not for the gear that I shoot it on. There's something in the computer world called Moore's Law, which states that every 12 to 18 months, processing power of computers is going to double in their capabilities. There's just gonna be a lot of features that you're gonna be looking at in the newer models that make you be like, oh, I wish I had that. Like my camera right now, it caps at 1080p video at 30 frames per second. And I could go out and I could sell this camera right here, and I could go and I could buy a Sony a7R IV or whatever they're on that can shoot, you know, full frame photo, 4K, 120 FPS. But I don't care. Like, I like this. I mean, at some point I'm gonna get a better one, but I'm not too worried about it. I have film cameras from the 60s that I take super high quality photos on, and I'm not worried about it. Anyways, that was me rambling on and on about the differences between film and digital. Hopefully you found this interesting. Hopefully you learned a lot from this. If you're trying to get into photography right now and you're trying to figure out whether you want to shoot film or digital, let me know what you choose in the comments below. I would love to hear what you think. I would love to hear what swayed you in either direction. Anyways, thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed. I love talking about photography. I hope you guys enjoy listening to me talk about photography. And if there's anything you want me to talk about, be sure to let me know down in the comments. I am looking to put out these videos every Friday. In my mind, I'm thinking it's like Photo Friday. I'm just trying to get on a good posting schedule. I've been very inconsistent in the past, so I'm just trying to find something that, you know, fits me. I hope to see you guys soon. Thanks for watching, and I hope you have a good day. Bye.